What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Youth in Revolt. I've seen this movie quite a few times. I've seen this movie like 3 or 4 times. I randomly caught it on TV once when I was younger, and I thought it was thebomb.com, and I've just like watched it consistently, not consistently, but every couple years I revisit this movie, and whenever I come back to it, I always enjoy it. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Youth in Revolt. Yeah, I don't know. I just think this is like a funny movie. It's like Michael Cera is absolutely so funny in this role, in this like bad boy role. It's fantastic. The dialogue in this is so funny. I don't know. I feel this movie, it might be in the category of like a underrated romantic comedy, because I don't know if people really talk about this movie, but this movie is hilarious in my opinion. I absolutely love it. So the movie centers around Michael Cera. I cannot speak in these videos. The movie centers around Michael Cera's character, and his name is Nick Twisp. He's, kind of a hipster. He's into like weird, he collects records of like weird, obscure musical artists, and he like watches weird films and stuff. He's kind of a hipster, and he's got like no game. He's getting like no play with the ladies. Everyone around him is, you know, getting all kinds of action, and he's like, I need to get a girlfriend, and he's like hyper fixated on losing his virginity. He's like 16 years old, and he's a virgin, and he wants to head to Pound Town. He wants to take care of that V card, get that out the way, get that sorted out. So basically, he lives. His parents are divorced, and he lives with his mom. And his mom is always dating all these knucklehead dudes, and her like this dude that she's dating is played by Zach Galifianakis, and he's just like a total piece of shit. He's a sleazebag, and he sells these Navy people a bad car. So then they like dip out of town for a minute, and they go live in this trailer park. And while Nick is there living with his mom and her boyfriend in the trailer park, he meets this girl named Sheenie. They have a little summer fling, and he pretty much falls in love with her. And throughout the rest of the movie, he creates this alter ego. He goes crazy, and he has this like split where now he has like multiple personalities, and he creates this like badass bad boy alter ego named Francois Dillinger, and he's trying to do all this crazy badass stuff to impress Sheenie, and get with her, and eventually have sexual relations with her. So that is the basic plot summary. One thing that I gotta touch on in relation to this movie is the promo surrounding it. So I don't know if I saw this promo like around the time the movie was coming out, because I believe this came out in 2009. So 2009, I was pretty young when this movie actually came out. But on YouTube over the years, I've seen some of the promo for the movie, and there's this one instance they did like a promo thing on MTV where Michael Cera is hanging with the Jersey Shore cast, and they give him like this crazy like spiked up hairdo, and it's just funny, like him. They give him like a Jersey Shore makeover, and it's just funny him like interacting with all the cast of Jersey Shore, and he does like a little promo for Youth in Revolt, like at the end of that, and that was a fantastic promo. And then another promotional thing that he did for this movie was he did this like fake flip out on the set of Youth in Revolt to promote it, and that clip's on YouTube. It's got like 5.3 million views, but basically it was like it was staged. It was a fake flip out. He didn't really flip out. It was staged, and to generate publicity for the movie. Like a lot of people, I feel like did and maybe still do think that was real, but it's not. But yeah, he's yelling at actors and the director, and he's like, "You're amateurs. I'm working with amateurs. I can't work like this." And I think what they were doing was so Terminator, like on the set of Terminator Salvation, there's that infamous flip out from Christian Bale where he's like, "You're amateurs. I'm done with you professionally." And I think they were kind of doing a parody of that to generate publicity, but that was a great promo as well. So you got a Jersey Shore promo and then a Christian Bale-esque flip out. I mean, that's some great promotional material. Like, I like when films do that. They'll market the movie with kind of funny, like weird alternative methods. So that's great. Another thing that I like about this movie is I don't know. So this is a romantic comedy. There are a lot of romantic elements, but the comedy, in my opinion, in this movie is fantastic. Like, there's not any like crazy, like grandiose big like comedic setups, but it's just funny little dialogue, and Michael Cera is so funny in this. I'm gonna go over a couple standout funny moments. So basically, later on in the movie, Nick's mom is dating this cop, and he's played by Ray Liotta, and Nick sets fire to this town, and he gets back, and they're like, they were on the news describing you, like it was you who did it. They're like, Ray Liotta's character's like, yeah, they said male, 135 pounds, with dirty blonde hair, 5'9", with a trailer that said God's perfect asshole on it, and then Michael Cera's character Nick replies with that could be anyone. That was extremely funny. And then he gets to this later on in the movie. He goes to this French boarding school because Sheeny is like shipped away to this French boarding school, and he's in this movie. The character Nick, he's like constantly swearing, and it's funny to see like Michael Cera like be this kind of bad boy, and he's always swearing, and it just like goes like in a lot of other movies he's like a little bit more well mannered, but he gets to this boarding school and he's trying to like find someone to talk to so he can locate Sheeny, and he's like, "Do you speak English? Do you speak English? What the fuck? What the fuck? I know you speak English. You're lying to me. What the fuck?" And he's just flipping out. I thought that was really funny. And then throughout the movie, he's constantly just shitting on Sheeny's ex-boyfriend Trent. Like when he's at the boarding school, he meets this other girl that knows Trent, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you're actually really nice and very beautiful. It's crazy that Trent's always saying that you're trashy and you're disgusting. That's crazy that he would say it." Like, and then later on in the movie, he actually like Trent confronts him, and Nick says to Trent, he's like, thank you for the unsolicited advice, and please drop dead. That's a fantastic line. So I thought it was funny how he was always just shitting on Sheenie's ex-boyfriend. That was great. But there was so many other instances of funny situations and funny dialogue. I thought this movie was hilarious. This is a random point, but when I was watching the movie, I was thinking, would I ever do anything like this to get with a chick? And I was thinking, like, me personally, the main girl, Sheenie, I mean, she's a beautiful woman, but she's not like that hot. She's kind of like mid in my opinion, and not really my type. And I was like, would I really go through all that trouble to get that chick? Like, I don't know. Like, she's a beautiful woman, but I mean, am I gonna blow up the whole town just to get with this chick? Probably not. But then I was thinking, like, they had that connection where they're both into the same weird stuff, and I was thinking, like, if I found some woman who was into all these weird obscure movies, like if she had like Sleepaway Camp 1, 2, and 3 on Blu-ray, and she had like all the Harmony Korine movies on DVD, like I probably would blow up a town to get with her. I'd be like, you got Sleepaway Camp 1, 2, and 3 on Blu-ray? Oh, you want me to be more badass? Done. I'm blowing up the town. I'm wrecking cars. I'm creating an alternate persona. So, yeah, like I started to kind of get it. Like, if you find some chick who's into the same weird obscure stuff you're into, you might have to create a badass alter ego and commit some crimes in order to get with her. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. So I kind of get it now. Another point that I have to get into, and I've always thought about this movie. So, okay, this movie, and the character of Nick, it's very like hipster-esque, where Nick is into all these obscure records, and he collects records, and some of the like the stylistic choices of the movie, like there's this kind of like stop motion sequence where it's like stop motion photos. Like, some of the stylistic choices as well as like the personalities of the characters are very hipster-esque, and I feel like this movie, along with Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist and Juno, they all have that hipster feel to them. And I don't know, whenever I watch this movie or when I watch those movies, I always just imagine like these Hollywood executives. They're just like wearing suits, and they're in a boardroom, and they're like, all right, we need to make this teen movie. It's our target demographic, millennials who are in their late teens to early 20s, and we're going to target the hipsters. We're going to target these young kids who collect records and collect obscure physical media. That's our target demographic. Who's the guy? Who are we going to call? Who's going to be the lead? Michael Cera. Hipsters love that dude. All these hipster kids, they go crazy. Hipster girls, they got Michael Cera on their wall. They got Michael Cera shrines in their closets. Like, that's our man. Okay, here's the plan. Michael Cera, he's going to lead this movie. We'll throw in some weird stop motion stuff. He's going to collect records. It's going to make 80 mil. All the hipsters are going to eat this shit up. It's going to be great. So, yeah, like this movie, along with those other movies that I mentioned, they seem like they're like heavily targeted towards hipsters. And I always just in my head like to imagine some like middle-aged gentlemen wearing suits in a boardroom, just like conceptualizing this movie and figuring out like how they're gonna market it, and just being like, we gotta get Michael Cera, get Michael Cera in here, stat. He's the poster boy for hipsters. So yeah, I don't know. I always think about that. Maybe he's not the poster boy for hipsters, but all these movies, they feel like very hipster-esque to me. But I'm not hating on that. I like all three of those movies well, this movie and those two other movies that I mentioned. So I'm not hating. That's just an observation. That's just a wacky observation. You know, I'm getting a little wacky, wild, weird up on here. You know, that's what I do. But anyways, yeah, had to mention that. And the last thing that I have to mention is, this is super random, but this is like the smallest detail, but I want to mention it because whenever I've watched this movie, when Francois is like smoking, he's like smoking a cig in the forest, and he like grabs the cig with these two fingers instead of these two. He grabs it with these ones, and like grabs it like that. I don't know, but for some reason I always thought that was like the coolest thing ever. Like I don't really like smoke cigarettes, but when I was younger, like I would smoke cigarettes here and there, you know, if someone had one or if I was drinking or something. And I feel like I did that a couple times where I was trying to emulate that, and I would like take the cig out of my mouth like that. So yeah, I mean I was an I was an impressionable youth, and I mean this movie made me a bad kid smoking cigs with these two fingers. So I mean this movie ruined my life. No, I'm just kidding. But I don't know. I just thought I would mention that because I always thought that was cool. I mean, who grabs a cig like that? Nobody does that. Like that's badass. That's gangster. So that was something I had to mention. Very important detail, you know. But anyways, that was the last thing I had written down in my notes. So I'm pretty much done with Youth in Revolt. I'm done with this movie. So I'm gonna give you all my little recommendation. Why can I not speak? I'm sick today. Okay, so bear with me. All right, give me a break. I'm just kidding. I don't even know what I'm talking to a camera here. Like, bear with me, camera. What do you? I'm sick. All right. I'm sick in the head. I'm twisted. I'm crazy. I'm Francois Dillinger up in it. I'm badass smoking cigs, blowing up entire towns. But anyways, yeah, I'm a little sick, so bear with me. That was the point that I want to get into before I started acting crazy. But anyways, in terms of a recommendation, I think this movie is fantastic. I've always liked it. Upon rewatch, this movie still hits. It's still thebomb.com. You got some great, like the romance itself is great. All the comedic elements are great. I love the characters. The story is interesting. I think this is a great movie. So I would definitely recommend it. It's free right now on Tubi. I think it's free on a couple other platforms. So if you have not seen this, I would definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, there's my little recommendation. So I'm done talking about Youth in Revolt. I'm gonna go do some other activities. Thank you all very much for watching, and peace out.